recording button. Double tap to activate.
Hello! If you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for choosing to come back and hang out with me. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name's May, and I love yarn, okay? I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. That's my hobby. I also happen to be visually impaired, and so I like to promote accessibility on the internet, which means I'm going to use my words and describe my projects to accommodate the other 16 million legally blind people on the planet. Wow! So, grab a beverage, get something to drink, get a project, sit down, let's have a chat. If you viewed any of my other videos, maybe one on how my deteriorating eyesight freed me to design knitwear, a project that often shows up is the blue hoodie. I even wore it in one of my videos. If you're new and you're blind or visually impaired, I am going to describe it briefly. If you're returning, well, you can hit the little fast forward button if you want. But I'll be brief. It is blue. It buttons down the front. It has a garter stitch button band. It has cables down the right and the left. It has a hood. It has knit to purl to ribbing on the cuffs around the bottom. And of course, I gave it pockets. I love pockets. So practical. So handy. So that's my hoodie that I knit and design myself. And I love it. I wear it all the time. It is knit in Valley Yarns Haydenville bulky, which is 60% superwash merino wool and 40% microfiber acrylic. Super, super, super soft. I wear it all the time. Sometimes I sleep in my hoodie. I wear it outside for walks to do things around the property. I wear it inside just because it's cold, right? It's one of these transition seasons, so one gets a lot of wear. My only complaint is pilling quite a bit. So the jury's still out on Haydenville yarns. Maybe it's just this batch. Maybe it's just the bulky. Maybe it's because I wear mine a lot. I'm not sure. But that's the only negative about this project. The yarn is super, super, super soft, and I really want to love it. But I'm not a fan of the pilling. So, but I love my hoodie. And if you watch some of my videos, Mr. Baer is in the videos. And Mr. Baer, I knit him myself. No, I didn't design him. He's a free pattern at Knit Picks. And he's made out of their yarn. I believe it's called fairy tale fur. It might be called fable fur. They've changed the names a few times, but it's a super bulky polyester yarn. If you're blind or visually impaired, he is a very, very light tan color. He might have a slight golden hint to him. I'm not sure. But he's not white. And he might be like maybe, I don't know, maybe the color of a koala bear? I don't know. I'm completely colorblind. I have been my whole life. So I don't actually know if koalas are tan. In my eyes, I think they are. But they could be gray, too. It's one of life's mysteries. He wears my crochet gold crown that I designed as a necklace. Well, I wear it as a crown. But I know some of you thought I walk around my house wearing my gold crown all the time. But I don't. I let Mr. Baer wear it, even though it's kind of too big for him. But I was thinking, here he is, hanging out on YouTube with nothing but a crown on. I mean, really? So, Mr. Baer needs clothes, right? He can't be naked on YouTube. So I was thinking, wouldn't that be fun to make Mr. Baer and I matching hoodies, matching sweaters? So fun. Well, if you don't know, I sometimes have insomnia issues, as in I don't sleep too well. Sometimes for a long time I was sleeping about 4 hours a night. I did get better sleep the last 2 nights. So grateful for that, but sometimes that means my mind's a little cloudy. And when I was starting out making Mr. Baer's hoodie, I was very tired, very sleep deprived, and I've taken some brief notes on my phone. I dictate onto my phone, dictated a few notes out, but really haven't written the pattern. I do mean to at some point so that other people can make this hoodie, but I haven't done that yet. So I didn't even really make a lot of notes for myself. When I made my hoodie, it's top-down raglan style. I cast on at the neck and worked my way down. And I did what's called a provisional cast on. So when I wanted to go and put the hood on, guess what? Check that out. Check that out. It's completely smooth. There is no seams. There is no joins. Nothing. Completely smooth. I love it. Love it. Love it. And I really wanted Mr. Baer and I to have matching sweaters. Well, guess what? When I went to make Mr. Baer's sweater, I was so tired. I've been sleeping only 4 hours. I did a long tail cast on. Yeah, I did. And gave him a cute little garter stitch collar. This is Mr. Baer's sweater. If you're blind or visually impaired, it has the same garter stitch button band. No buttons yet. And it has the cables and it has the ribbing on the bottom. The sleeves are still on holders. It is just a little bit of a lighter blue. It is in the Valley Yarns Haydenville DK. And so now I'm at a pause because I'm really, really struggling with the fact that I used the wrong cast on. That's the dilemma tonight. I took it to Mr. Baer. We let Mr. Baer play judge. I live in the United States. You can have a judge make decisions, or you can go to a jury. So I went to Mr. Fat Ice Cream Belly Baer, the judge, right? And I was like, I really want to rip out the hoodie and start over because I'm really mad at myself for doing the collar the wrong way, doing the wrong cast on, giving it a garter stitch band. And I said I want to be dismissed from my assignment. Rip it out, scrap it, forget it. We don't need matching hoodies. I mean, he's just a bear. He can be naked on YouTube, right? And he was like, There's ice cream bellies out there. So he wanted to know what grounds I wanted to be dismissed on. And I said, sleep deprivation. And he said, no, that's not acceptable. Keep stitching. So I'm still working on Mr. Baer's hoodie. Now, my problem is I could just let him have a plain cardi, right? Mr. Baer could just have a cardi. I could make him a hat like Mr. Baer could have a cardi with a matching hat. Would that be cute? Is that what you would do? That's what we're here really asking tonight, because I wasn't real happy with Mr. Baer's, like, just keep stitching. So I'm trying to decide right now, should Mr. Baer just get a cardi? I am going to give him longer sleeves. I think he needs longer sleeves, even though he's got stubby little bare arms. I think he needs long sleeves. So should we go a two-piece set with just a cardi and a little hat? Or should I go ahead and try to pick up and knit along the neckline and still give him a hood? That's the question. First thing, it's going to have kind of this awkward garter stitch band along the back. It's okay. I've seen people do that before. Put a garter stitch band in there. Or like a seed stitch band. I've seen that before too. Some people put a seed stitch band in between the hood and the neck. Something kind of decorative. But I really love the smoothness of my provisional cast on. So it would have a different look. What do you think? You think that's an okay look to have a garter stitch band and pick up and knit? Of course, the other thing is I'm not real good at pick up and knit because I'm visually impaired. I can't see my stitches. I have to pick up and knit by feel. If I was working it in a bulky yarn like my hoodie, well, these stitches are pretty easy for me to feel. If it was a number 5 or a number 6 weight yarn, I say, yeah, I can pick up and knit, right? Those are some good size stitches. You can put your fingers through them. You can feel each stitch distinctly. I knit last summer. I did do pick up and knit. I try to avoid pick up and knit. It really isn't my favorite thing to do by feel. I don't like it. It's hard. I know. But do I really avoid hard things all the time? No. When it comes to knitting, I do like to challenge myself. And I want to get better at doing pick up and knit like around necklines. Last summer, I did this sweater. I made this the black sweater. It is long sleeve. It is interestingly also knit with Haydenville, but the number 4 worsted in black. It is long sleeve. It is black. It has ribbing. I think it has, yeah. It's got some ribbing on the sleeves, and it has, if you're blind or visually impaired, it has this lace panel that goes down the front. I love that. Of course, I wear a little cami or a tank underneath it, but it's got a very pretty lace panel. Plus, it has some little, like a little cabling there. It's just a very fun sweater. But I was practicing doing a scoop neckline, and then having to go back around and pick up and knit and do the ribbing on there. And it was a challenge. I'll be the first to admit it was really hard for me, even on a number 4, to go in and feel every single stitch and get my knitting needle in there and pick up and knit. But I did it. And I know that I want to do more sweaters and tops and dresses with ribbing at the neckline. I do want to get better at that. That's a skill I know I want to get better at. I prefer to practice it on number 4 and 5 and 6 yarns, right? Medium, bulky, super bulky. I really didn't want to take on pick up and knit on a DK weight yarn. Give me back this sweater, Mr. Baer. It's not done yet. So we're looking at a DK weight yarn. Those are some pretty small stitches. I can still feel them in there, but I'm a little worried about it. So I'm not usually one to shy away from a challenge, so part of me says just use this as an opportunity to practice pick up and knit on a DK weight yarn. But again, I still have the issue of he's going to have this little garter stitch band in between his hoodie, like his back neck and his hood. So that's the question. We're taking it to you, the jury, now on YouTube. What do you prefer for yourself? How about for a baby, a child? Do you prefer a 2-piece set that's a cardi and a hat? Or do you like the 1-piece hoodie? I don't know. I'm struggling. I really do want Mr. Baer and I to be twins up here. I mean, when we're talking to you, I think we'd look pretty good wearing matching sweaters. Mr. Baer doesn't want to be naked on YouTube forever. So that's the question tonight. 2-piece hat and cardi or 1-piece hoodie, pick up and knit. Love to hear from you. Say hello in the comments. Let me know what you were up to this weekend. This video hopefully will be posted on Monday. So what did you do over your weekend? Did you go on a little trip, have some fun, see your family, do some laundry, just catch up on your sleep, catch up on some TV? I just watched the latest episode of 1923. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But as you can probably hear in the background, there's a train. Lots of trains in that show. And not this episode, but the previous week's episode. One of my favorite parts was when Kara was waiting for her husband to come home, and guess what she was doing? She was knitting! And when Elizabeth asked her, what are you knitting? She was like, well, I don't know. It's too big for a scarf, so it must be a sweater. That's me all the time. I just love to pick up different yarns, start playing with them, start casting them on, getting a hook out, getting a needle, just start working with the yarns, feeling them, letting them speak to me. What do they want to become? That is so fun for me. Sometimes I buy yarn with a purpose, but sometimes I just buy yarn because it's on sale. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a good yarn sale? Why buy full price when you can get it on sale? But when yarns are on sale, we don't always have a purpose for it, right? We're like, ooh, that's a good price on that. 50% off, right? Add to cart. But we don't always have a purpose. I have a lot of yarn that I bought on sale throughout the years that I don't have a specific purpose for. So I do what she's doing. I just get out my needles and my yarn and I start stitching and I just feel it and think, is it a scarf? Is it a cardi? Is it a tank? Is it like just tote bag yarn? Is it hat yarn? How soft is it? Would it feel good right next to my skin? Like a scarf? Should it go over something? So I love that about that show. That wasn't this week, that was last week. But I loved it. And of course, as I said, lots of train scenes. And I got trains going by my place all the time. Freight trains, passenger trains. I've even done some train traveling myself with my guide dogs. So I enjoy so much of that show. I can just kind of connect with throughout those train scenes. It reminds me of the different train trips I've taken up and down the West Coast. One of my little guilty pleasures. I don't watch a lot of TV, but 1923 is one of my guilty pleasures. So let me know. What are you watching? Do you listen to audiobooks while you knit? Do you watch TV? Do you do podcasts? Let me know what's up. Let me know what you're working on. Are you knitting? Are you crocheting? Are you sewing or quilting or working on other projects while you're hanging out with me? You can let me know where you're watching from. If you have any questions, by all means, you can certainly ask me. I might answer them. I might tell you it's none of your business too. But I'm certainly open to answering questions that you might have about knitting or crochet by feel or just knitting and crochet in general. I have quite a bit of knitting knowledge, not a lot, but I'd say a moderate amount. I'm fairly new to crochet. I might not be the best source for help with that, but I'd still be happy to answer questions that you might have, so feel free to leave them in the comments section. If you'd like, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's free. Did you know that? To subscribe to a YouTube channel is free. And then you won't miss any of the videos here. So, thanks so much for stopping by today, hanging out, spending a little time with me and Mr. Baer today. He's having a wardrobe dilemma. Do you think he needs pockets on his sweater like mine? I think pockets on his sweater would be really cute. But then again, he's just a stuffed bear. It's not like he needs a place for his cough drops, like me. I don't know. So, and remember, creativity is for everybody. Whether you see or you see like me, which is not so much, or you don't see it all. Creativity is for you. And whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or beading or sculpting or painting, whatever it is that you do to express yourself, today is a great day to craft and create. Thanks so much for stopping by. Bye-bye now.
Pause.
At the end of my videos, I like to show some close-ups of the products for other people who might be blind or visually impaired. If you don't know yet, I'm blind by the light. That's why I record in a room that's mostly dark. However, I also know that the majority of people who are visually impaired are blinded by light, and so they need the light on to see their projects. So here is a close-up of the blue hoodie. You can see this is the neckline where I did a provisional cast on. There's no seam. Well, here's the back of it. I'll even show you. This is where the hood is and the body. It's completely smooth. Check that out. Here's the back of the hood. I don't have any idea how I did the hood. I know I did a few rows that started increasing to accommodate my giant brain. And then when I got to the top, started decreasing. It's a little pointier than I wanted. So you can see there's a cable on each side. This is a garter stitch button band. There's like some kind of little brass type buttons on there, and there's cables on each side of the button band. And then you can see the little pockets that I added on for my cough drops, whatever. I love pockets. They got some knit 2 purl 2 ribbing, and we got knit 2 purl 2 ribbing along the bottom and the edges of the sleeves. So here's a close-up of Mr. Baer and his hoodie. And he has the exact same thing. It's just a lighter blue. He's got a garter stitch button band. He's got the exact same cable on each side of his sweater. Now, here's where it's different. I put a garter stitch band completely out of it. So tired. Slept less than 4 hours for several nights in a row. Wasn't thinking. Wasn't looking at a pattern. Because the pattern's in my head. It's my own pattern. So it's in a haze, in a fog. I just did a long tail cast on and gave him a garter stitch band. So what do you think? Would that look kind of funny and awkward on him? To have this band and then the hood? Still have the sleeves on the holders. I think I'm going to put Mr. Baer's sweater in timeout for a few days while I think about what to do. And here is a close-up of the black sweater. I know black is hard for a lot of people to see. Maybe I can get it straightened out here. So it is black. It is also Haydenville. It's got ribbing on the bottom. This is the lace panel. I love this lace panel down the center. Look at that. And then it has like a little cable on each side. How fun is that? Cables and lace down the front of that. And then this is the neckline. This is what I'm talking about. It's a scoop neckline. And I had to do pick up and knit. And you can see I'm not the best at pick up and knit. It's uneven. I miss stitches now and then. It's not my strength. But maybe Mr. Baer's sweater is the perfect opportunity for me to practice pick up and knit. I don't know. That's the question today. Thanks so much for stopping by, listening, and hanging out with me.
Stop recording.